Before the world awakens, before noise replaces stillness, before the mind is pulled in 1,000 directions, there is a sacred moment waiting for you. A moment where you do not react but create, where you do not chase but align. This is the moment you decide who you are becoming and how you will carry yourself through the day, not by chance, not by emotion, but by intention. What you say to yourself each morning is not just thought, it is direction. It is discipline. It is the first step toward mastery. Speak truth into your breath, and you shape your reality from the inside out. Dear friends, every morning when you rise, before the noise enters, before the world begins to pull you in different directions, you are given a sacred moment, a window of silence, where you meet yourself. This is the moment to align your mind before you move the body. Because without this alignment, your entire day is a reaction, not a creation. The first words you speak to yourself shape the energy you carry for the next 24 hours. When you say, "I am calm," you are not just repeating empty sounds. You are establishing a vibration that your body begins to follow. You are choosing not to begin the day in haste, not to rush into a world that is already restless. You are telling your nervous system to slow down, to rest in itself. You become the eye of the storm. When the world around you becomes chaotic, you remain untouched because you started from stillness. When you tell yourself, "I am in control of my thoughts," you become the master, not the servant of your mind. Many people wake up and immediately reach for their phones, for the news, for the chatter of others. They invite in confusion before they have even spoken to their own soul. Your thoughts will try to run you, but you must guide them, like a skilled rider guides a wild horse. Your thoughts will try to pull you into fear, into regret, into distraction, but you must return to the breath. The breath brings you back to center. It does not argue, it does not complain, it simply reminds you of now. The reason we say "I choose how I respond" is because no matter what comes in the day ahead, there is always a gap between stimulus and response. In that space lies your freedom. When you are not trained, your life is a chain reaction. Someone insults you, you retaliate. Someone challenges you, you become defensive. But when you begin the day with this affirmation, you prepare your inner warrior. You remind yourself that your power lies not in controlling the world, but in mastering your own reactions. You can choose silence, you can choose movement, you can choose stillness, all according to the moment and not your mood. In the Shaolin tradition, the body and the mind are not two, they are one. And in the morning, the body is still in transition between sleep and awakening. If the mind is not stable, the body becomes tense, restless, confused. That is why it is necessary to speak to the mind first, to train it to become still, to show it the path before the body follows. Let the first few minutes of your morning become sacred. Do not rush into movement. Do not jump into action. Sit, breathe, observe. Remind yourself, "I am calm, I am in control of my thoughts. I choose how I respond." These are not just motivational phrases, they are principles of internal order. They are ways of saying, "I will not be moved by the external chaos. I will not be controlled by temporary emotion. I will not give away my discipline to distractions." The warrior does not wait for the battlefield to practice his form. The monk does not wait for temptation to build his resistance. And the wise man does not wait for conflict to learn peace. He practices every morning with precision, with repetition, with intention. Each morning, you are given a chance to practice mental clarity, and this is the first training. Before any punch is thrown, before any kick is delivered, before any movement begins, the mind must be placed in harmony. If not, your power will be scattered, your energy wasted, your spirit will be hijacked by circumstances. So before you pick up your phone, before you answer to the world, answer to yourself. Stand in front of the mirror or sit on your mat and speak with authority from your inner temple. Say to yourself, "I am calm, let the world run. I will not. I walk with grace through fire and rain. I am in control of my thoughts. My thoughts are not masters, they are tools, and I sharpen them daily. I choose how I respond. I will not fight battles that do not concern my soul. I will not carry burdens that are not mine. This discipline in the morning is the quiet sharpening of your blade. It is the silent forging of your armor, not against the world, but for the world, so that you do not enter it unprepared. Some mornings will be heavy. You will feel resistance. The mind will try to rush, to skip, to move too fast. You must still return to this practice. You must show the mind that you do not obey its impulses. You lead it like a lion leads the pride, with quiet strength, with calm presence. In the ancient temples, this was the first training of the day, not the stretching, not the forms, but the sitting, the remembering, the coming back to the breath, the aligning of the self before entering the world. Because it is not enough to be strong, you must be stable. And it is not enough to be disciplined, you must be directed. And all of this begins with how you speak to yourself when no one is watching. Nothing is expected. The way you start your morning is the way you shape your life for the day. Begin with stillness and carry it into everything. When you rise and the silence is still with you, there is one question that must be asked before the day begins. Why am I here without purpose? The body moves, but the spirit is lost. Without direction, your actions become noise with no rhythm. You must reconnect with your purpose each morning, not once a year, not when things fall apart, but every day, as if your entire life depends on remembering. When you say to yourself, I walk with purpose, you are not referring to grand goals or achievements. It is not about money or titles. It is about the energy behind your steps. It is about waking up and knowing that your existence is not accidental, that there is something only you can bring to this world, even if it is just presence, even if it is just kindness in a moment of darkness. Purpose does not mean pressure. It means alignment. It means you do not drift. You do not follow every impulse. You do not chase every distraction. You walk with intention. Your steps may be slow, your tasks may be simple, but they are done with full attention and respect to your deeper reason for being. When you tell yourself, I am grateful to be alive, you are not reciting a cliché. You are performing a sacred reminder, because many people woke up today and immediately forgot the miracle of waking up. Many people open their eyes and complain. They see the problems before they see the possibilities. But you are not here to repeat that pattern. You must see life as a gift, not because it is always easy, but because it is always temporary. Gratitude in the morning resets the mind to receive instead of demand, to appreciate instead of complain, to witness instead of judge. It does not mean you ignore what is wrong. It means you no longer begin your day from a place of emptiness, but from a place of fullness. And from that fullness, you act differently. You speak differently. You treat others with more softness and yourself with more strength. Say it as your second breath, I am grateful to be alive. Let this gratitude not just be a feeling, but a force that carries you through discomfort, through failure, through boredom. Gratitude gives your spirit depth, and that depth keeps you grounded when everything around you is moving too fast. Then you remind yourself, I am here to grow. These 6 words change everything because they remove the illusion that life is supposed to be easy or perfect or painless. When you believe you are here to grow, you no longer resist challenge, you welcome it like a teacher. When pain comes, you no longer ask why me, you ask, what is this showing me? When delay happens, you no longer quit, you adapt and improve. Growth does not always feel good, but it always feels honest. Growth means facing the parts of yourself that are still sleeping, the parts that still react, the parts that still fear the unknown. And it is only in the morning silence before the world has reached in that you can see yourself clearly, without the masks, without the roles, without the noise. The world will try to give you 1,000 purposes. It will tell you to chase image, success, attention, approval, but you must return to your own voice and ask, what am I truly here to do? And the answer may not come all at once, it may not be loud, but it will be there in your breath, in your steps, in your actions, done with care. Purpose is not a destination, it is a direction. It is the compass you hold even when the path is unclear. It is the way you carry yourself even when nobody is watching. It is the discipline to return to your why when distraction pulls you away. Each morning you are given a new page and you get to decide what kind of energy writes your story. Do you write from fear or from faith? Do you move from habit or from awareness? Do you remember your deeper reason or do you forget and follow the crowd? To walk with purpose is to walk alone, sometimes not in loneliness but in strength, because you are no longer seeking validation, you are no longer asking others for permission to live your truth. When you are grateful to be alive, you do not waste time trying to be someone else. You honor the life you've been given by living it fully, by feeling deeply, by giving your best effort in even the smallest things. And when you believe you are here to grow, every moment becomes your training. You begin to see lessons in failure, in delay, in discomfort. You start to welcome challenges as reminders that your journey is still unfolding. And you no longer fear the unknown because you know you are becoming something more with each step. Do not start your morning chasing tasks. Start your morning remembering your truth. You are not just a body moving through a schedule. You are a living spirit on a journey back to yourself. And this world, though often loud and confusing, is the place where you are meant to remember that. Before the world reaches for you, reach for your breath. Before the noise distracts you, anchor yourself in presence. Before others tell you who to be, tell yourself who you are. Speak to yourself with clarity and strength. I walk with purpose. I am grateful to be alive. I am here to grow. Let these not be slogans but commitments. Let them not be whispered but declared from the depth of your being. You are not lost. You are simply being refined. Every morning is another chance to return to this inner truth, to walk your path again, to choose depth over distraction, presence over performance, alignment over approval. Let your purpose be your discipline, your gratitude be your fuel, and your growth be your reward. And from this state you enter the day, not to survive it, but to shape it. Not to be pulled by it, but to walk through it with presence and power and peace. When the body rises and the breath begins to deepen, the next step is training, not as something to check off a list, but as a sacred ritual. Training the body is not just about muscles. It is about preparing the vessel that holds your spirit, and if you neglect the vessel, you weaken the message. When you say, I train today to be better than yesterday, you are not comparing yourself to others. You are not trying to be faster or stronger than someone else. You are not chasing approval. You are honoring discipline and progress. This is not about ego. It is about evolution. It is about meeting the person you were yesterday and deciding to take one more step forward, not because anyone is watching, but because your spirit demands it. To train the body is to show respect to the life you have been given. To move with awareness is to honor your breath, your bones, your skin, and your strength. Movement is not punishment. It is celebration. When you stretch your limbs, when you feel the burn, when you sweat, you are not suffering. You are remembering that you are alive. You are remembering that growth is earned, not wished for. I am resilient means that no matter how heavy the challenge, no matter how tired you feel, no matter how many times you fall, you get up, not because you must, but because you can. Pain is not here to destroy you. It is here to reveal you. Every time you move through struggle, you find another layer of power you didn't know you had, and every time you quit, you teach yourself to fear that power. Resilience is not loud, it is not dramatic, it is quiet. It shows up every morning when the mind says, stay in bed, and the body rises anyway. It is the whisper that says one more repetition, one more breath, one more round, when no one is clapping, when no one is watching, when no one is giving you permission. That is when true resilience is born. When you speak, "I am the master of my energy," you're reminding yourself that every day people will try to take it. People will try to waste it with drama, with gossip, with urgency that is not yours. But you have a choice. You can protect your energy. You can train with focus. You can guard your attention like a monk guards his temple, because where your energy goes, your life follows. Do not give your energy to arguments that do not matter. Do not waste your power explaining yourself to those who do not listen. Do not allow your mind to be pulled in every direction by every notification. Your energy is sacred, and when you train your body, you are also training your focus, your boundaries, your awareness. Training is not separate from the spirit, it is the reflection of it. How you do your push-ups, how you run, how you breathe during discomfort, all of it mirrors how you handle life. When pressure rises, when things do not go your way, when fatigue sets in, do you quit or do you breathe deeper? Do you fall or do you rise? Shaolin monks do not train for appearance, they train for presence. They train because every repetition is a meditation, because every movement is a prayer, because every drop of sweat is a step toward mastery. And you must carry the same intention into your training, no matter how simple, no matter how short it is, not the length, it is the presence. Your body speaks. It remembers everything you do. It carries your stress, your joy, your discipline, your neglect. It is not a machine. It is a reflection. And when you train it with respect, it begins to serve you with strength, with clarity, with peace. The body does not lie when it is trained. It shows you your truth. When it is neglected, it reveals your avoidance. And so each morning before the world interrupts, make your training sacred, not rushed, not distracted, not shallow. Enter it fully, enter it like a ceremony, enter it like you are preparing for battle, not against the world, but against your own limits. Start with breath, then move. Feel the tension, feel the resistance, feel the voice that wants to stop, and do not obey it. Do not argue with it. Breathe through it. Meet the discomfort with stillness. Train, not because it is easy, but because it is hard, and in doing what is hard, you find what is true. I train today to be better than yesterday is not just about improvement, it is about loyalty. Loyalty to your path, loyalty to your higher self, loyalty to the process of refinement. And thank you. I am resilient is your reminder that even when it feels like nothing is changing, the discipline itself is shaping you, and I am the master of my energy is your shield against distraction, against excuses, against wasted movement. The body is the gateway. When you train it, you train the mind. When you move with purpose, you strengthen your spirit. When you endure discomfort, you grow deeper roots. There will be days when the body is tired, when the mind is heavy, when the discipline feels distant. Those are the days when training matters most, because those are the days you prove to yourself that your commitment is real and your path is not built on motivation but on mastery. Let each movement carry intention. Let each breath carry awareness. Let each drop of sweat carry the weight of your inner vow. And in this way you turn every training into transformation, every repetition into a step forward, every moment of struggle into a moment of awakening. Discipline is not a burden, it is freedom, because the more you train, the less you are controlled by weakness, by fear, by comfort, and the more you become available to your purpose, to your clarity, to your highest self. Let the body become the reflection of the order within. Let your movement become the language of your spirit, and let your training become your daily offering to the life you have been gifted and the path you are choosing with every breath you take. When all is silent again, when the body has moved and the breath has deepened, there is one final truth that must be spoken into the mind before the day fully begins. I am becoming who I am meant to be, not who others expect not who the world demands, but who I was born to become. This is the root of all discipline, the seed of all focus, the core of all power. Because if you forget this, you will begin to chase shadows. You will begin to perform instead of transform. You will live to be seen instead of choosing to see. You must return to this truth every morning, like a flame that lights the path again, even when the night before tried to extinguish it. The path of becoming is not loud. It is not filled with constant wins and applause. It is slow, quiet, often unseen by others. It is in how you respond when nothing is going your way, in how you speak to yourself when failure touches your hands, in how you move forward when no one is watching you. You must remind yourself that becoming is not about sudden change. It is the daily refinement of your inner world. It is not a sprint. It is not about chasing an image. It is about removing what is false, what is weak, what is fearful, and from that removal what remains is what has always been true. Becoming who you are meant to be means learning to walk alone. At times not in sadness, not in isolation, but in truth. Because when you carry purpose, when you hold silence, when you wear discipline, the crowd may not understand you. The world may try to distract you. They may try to tell you to slow down, to fit in, to stop growing. But you must not. You must remember that your becoming is not for their comfort. It is for your soul. Every morning when you say, I am becoming who I am meant to be, you are breaking the chains of yesterday. You are releasing the mistakes, the doubts, the comparisons that kept you small. You are stepping into a new version of yourself. Not because time changed, but because your awareness returned. You do not become through waiting. You do not become through wishing. You become through action, through stillness, through discipline. Through facing the uncomfortable truths within you and breathing into them, not avoiding them, not hiding behind distraction, but staying with yourself long enough to transform. There will be days when your mind tells you to stop, days when progress feels invisible, days when you question if the effort is worth it. And this is where many give up. They look at the outside, they do not see instant rewards, so they walk away. But you must stay. You must remember that the roots grow in silence, and what you are becoming is not just for now. It is for the life you will live in 10 years. It is for the strength you will need when life tests you deeply. The foundation you build in these quiet mornings will become your shelter in the storms to come. And that is why you do not skip the practice. That is why you speak these truths into your mind every day. Because the outside world will not remind you. They will tell you to chase, not to build. They will tell you to perform, not to train. You are becoming someone that can carry peace in chaos, someone that can speak calmly in conflict, someone that can keep going when the path feels heavy and unclear. And all of this is built not through the loud moments, but through the quiet, consistent ones. Through the times when no one notices but you keep going anyway. To become who you are meant to be means letting go of who you once were. It means releasing the identities that were built out of fear, out of survival, out of trying to fit into places that were never meant for you. You are not here to be understood by everyone. You are here to understand yourself deeply and live in alignment with that truth. Speak it clearly. Speak it like a command to your cells. I am becoming who I am meant to be, not who I was yesterday, not who they think I should be, not who fear says I must stay. I am not fixed, I am not finished, I am unfolding, and every breath I take in awareness is a step further along this sacred path. And you will know you are becoming when peace replaces comparison, when silence becomes more valuable than noise, when discipline becomes joy, not because it is easy, but because it is real. You will feel it not in the reactions of others, but in the steadiness of your own soul. You will feel it when you stop looking outside for permission and start trusting the quiet voice within that has always guided you when you were willing to listen. Let your becoming be your offering, not just to yourself but to the world. Because the more you grow, the more you give. The more you rise, the more you help others rise. And you do not need to announce it. You do not need to prove it. Just live it. In the way you speak, the way you walk, the way you rise every morning with quiet power and deep presence. You are not becoming better than anyone else. You are becoming closer to your truth, and that is the most powerful transformation a human can make. Not to dominate others, not to impress others, but to meet yourself without fear, without shame, without pretending. So you wake up and you speak it into your breath, you let it settle into your steps, you carry it into your training, into your discipline, into your stillness. I am becoming who I am meant to be. And you protect that truth like a flame in the wind. You protect it from doubt, from distraction, from noise. Because once you know who you are becoming, once you commit to that, becoming everything else becomes clearer. Your choices, your actions, your direction, all begin to align not with the world's expectation, but with your soul's instruction. And so you walk the path again with calm strength and silent fire.